know that I definitely never throw shade to anyone if it's not thrown at me first, right? But you guys know, if you guys have ever seen the comment section, I do sometimes clap back to certain, either haters or spammers in the comment section. And I saw this like really interesting comment. You guys let me know in the comment section what you guys think. So this guy is like, he thinks he is so smart. This is when I shared a video of locking in profits on AMC when it was trading at $50 a share. I, in my video, never encourage people to sell. I just talk about risk management and why it would make sense for a potential pullback. But at the end of the day, I never encourage people to buy. I never encourage people to sell. My main focus, especially because a lot of beginners watch my video, is to encourage them to have some form of risk management. So my intention, I feel like, is always good, right? It's always looking out for that beginner trader that doesn't really have experience. This person says he thinks that he is so smart when non-YouTubers and real investors are making so much more. Very true, right? I'm sure people are making more money than me, just like there's other people making less than me, right? So it's a weird comment to say, but that aside, no amount of money can fix, no amount of money in the world can fix his appearance. Now that's rude. That's uncalled for. Again, completely joking, right? I respond back. This is 6 days ago. I literally just realized that my comment doesn't make sense. But I meant to say, I break down risk management. No need to get so salty because you're scared when AMC pulls back. Don't worry, I'll buy back your shares at $40. And I hit him with the little wink. And guess what happened today? Well, today during the live trading session with the Learn Plan Profit group, I wanted to show you. I bought a couple of shares just like I said I would at $40. I bought a couple of shares at $30, $39, and I bought a couple of shares at $38. Altogether, I'm still down on the day. I have about $100,000 now in AMC, and it's not that I'm here to pretend that I'm a perfect trader. I didn't sell at the highest point, right? But I did a very, very good job managing my risk. I sold at around $51, not the overall highs. You are correct. I'm not a perfect trader, never here to pretend that I am. But I sold at the overall highs, and I'm very happy that I was able to lock in profits. I waited for a pullback, and then when the margin makes sense, I'd love to take advantage of the opportunity, because now that I bought the dip, and if it recovers simply back to where it was before, if I would have listened to these people, I would have missed out on this potential 33%. But guess what? We're not here to listen to people that trade based off of emotion. I always say it how it is. Everyone has different intentions. If you want to hold AMC for the movement, I never tried to encourage you to not to do that, right? If that's your plan, if that's your goal, all power to you. You understand that if it does squeeze, correct, you will reap the benefit of that. I will probably miss out on that, and I accept that. But that's your intention. But you take on the risk if AMC crashes that you lose everything, right? For me, I treat it as a day trade. I treat it as what I see it to be, just another stock, another momentum play. And when it's at overbought levels, RSI, MACD, when it normally doesn't trade at $50, I do not hesitate to lock in profits. So when I see that it's overbought and potentially pulling on back, I reduce my position size to prepare, not because I can predict the future, but because I can prepare for it so I'm not surprised. So when something like this happens, unpredicted futures, right? Where I'm able to buy the dip. I bought 2,000 shares today, right? So you guys saw that. And I'm very, very grateful that I took action on what made sense to me. Because at the end of the day, you should never listen. You shouldn't listen to anybody about what you should do with your money. You should take actions that are in your future self's best interest. Not hold because other people are encouraging you to hold. Don't sell because other people are encouraging you to sell. Have a plan and have your own opinion, because you will either learn from your mistake and or, just like in my experience, like yes, it wasn't perfect, but I did it for the greater good of my account. I sold, I prepared for a pullback, and just like I bought a bunch of blue chip stocks yesterday, I bought a couple of shares of AMC. And it's not that I expect AMC to recover right away. If anything, it's still bearish. I would not encourage anyone. I'm telling you this as someone that has $101,000 invested in AMC. And look, on the day, AMC is down 2%, but I'm up on it. I'm up barely, so I'm pretty much break even, but it's because I managed my position size. I'm encouraging you to hold back. AMC still has a lot to prove. AMC is a very risky trade. Yes, I see upside potential, but this thing could easily drop right back down to $30 a share. I always, and again, going back to this, I feel like I always share my open opinion about a stock, regardless if I have money behind the trade. If it's overbought and I'm still holding shares, I always encourage beginner traders to not be afraid to lock in profits. Why? Because I don't want you to hold just because I'm holding. If I take on a risk because I see a potential opportunity, that's on me. That is with my money. I want to make sure that I don't put my opinions in other people's pockets. And that's the difference. So then you get people like this that are super emotional, that don't know how to trade, don't know how to manage their position size. And when something like this happens, what are they doing? They're punching air and or kicking a rock, stubbing their toe, right? Because they wish. The only people that get upset during a market pullback are those that did not prepare for it. For people like you and I, for people that are not emotional, for people that are not irrational, for people that are not so full of themselves thinking that something has to happen, I've been in this market long enough that I know all of my trades will not go according to plan. I know that there's always a risk behind every trade. I don't just always want to glorify something and talk about upside and not take into consideration the downside. It is so, so, so important, regardless of what you're trading, what you're invested in. If all you're thinking about is that upside potential or how much more money you can make, that's a huge red flag, because you need to take into consideration how much you are putting yourself at risk, regardless of how conservative or regardless of how risky something is. So I just wanted this video to be a reminder that ignore the stock that I'm actually trading. Who cares about AMC, right? It's all about the decisions that you make today that will determine your future self as a trader. Make sure that your actions of buying, of averaging up, of averaging down, of selling, of locking in profits, of reducing position size are all something that you simply agree with, not something that you are doing to please others. Don't ever buy something to please me. Don't ever sell something to please me. Don't ever do anything to please anyone. It is always for your future self. Have your future self's best interests in mind. And that's all I'm ever here to share. Regardless if it's a day trade, investment, or swing trade, it is your future self that you should be looking out for. And if it upsets other people because you decide to trade a certain way, then allow them to be upset. You're not here to please others. You're here to make sure that your actions today align with your goals, and that's for your future self. So I hope that it earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I thought I would, share this kind of concept in a lighthearted way. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. I'm excited to follow up with AMC. I'm excited to follow up with a lot of these different stocks that are showing signs of a recovery. I bought Twitter yesterday. I bought Starbucks. I bought Roku. I bought all of these, right? I shared it in yesterday's video. I shared with you that I bought a little bit more as the market sold off, and I'm very excited to follow up. Not because I think the market has to recover, because we all know that the market can still sell off. Just make sure that whatever you do it in a tasteful manner and that you stay effective along the way. I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that it earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I'd love for you guys to join our live trading session tomorrow at Market Open. And if you want to join us, that's that second link in the description. If you're not ready for that and you simply just want to connect with a free group, we have 314,000 members within our free Facebook group, and that's that first link in the description. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.